What up, YouTubes? It's the boy Primary Hunter here today making a springboard of a video. Um, this is sort of a response to TheJorishae's video, which is titled "Fuck Elizabeth: Problems of Nanatsu no Taizai." This video was made like around 2 months ago. Like looking at the YouTube feed. Um, I like as soon as I saw this video, I felt like I needed to make a response to it, but like I wanted to make a response to it like around that time, but when I made the video, I was thinking like I need to get my thoughts straight on it and I need to think more about it. Like and this when I say this is a response, it's not a response like saying, "Oh, Jorisha, you're wrong. Elizabeth is so useful." Like well, it's not even really touching the part about whether she's useful or not. Like, I feel like, because I like around that time, I felt the same way about Elizabeth as he does, and how do I feel about her now? Um, well, we're in the new arc, so she hasn't really done anything, so I'm kind of air with her. But like, I kind of want to clear up. I think what the Jewish was trying to say in his video because like a lot of people in the comments were like justifying her usefulness in this series. Like for example, she may have done some stuff to save some people's lives. Um, she helped banding. I was gonna the band the Seven Sins altogether, even though there's only six of them at the moment. Um, Yada yada yada, and so I'm going to kind of address that and kind of tie it in with stuff in general, with shonen anime or maybe media in general. Okay, first of all, I kind of do agree with people when they say like Elizabeth herself is not a useless character. As much as I dislike her or disliked her at the time, now I'm just like she hasn't done anything wrong yet, so I'm just okay. But as much as I disliked her, I couldn't call her useless because for a character to be useless, and it's my definition of useless, they would have had to have negligible effect on the series, like in the world or the world of that series. Like for example, an example of a useless character is you guessed it, Sakura. Because why? Because like Sakura has a minimal effect on this overall story of the series, and to make it matters worse, she's a main character. When a main character has little effect on the overall arching plot, story, and world of the series, that's a problem. Like I would say after her fight against what's the puppet's dude name? Sorcery of the Sand? I think that's his name. Blah. Like after her fight with him, like the stuff that she's done in the series hasn't really amounted to much. In fact, like after that fight, I'd say her usefulness was just as equal as Hinata. Um, so Sakura is an example of a useless character. You can't say Elizabeth is a useless character because, like I said in the beginning, without her, the Seven Sins wouldn't have been band together and they wouldn't have come and saved the day and all that jazz. So you can't say she's a useless character. But, like I said, I totally understand the Joshi's feelings and I actually agree with him. But I what you wouldn't instead of calling her useless, I think Elizabeth more is more helpless than useless, and that's what and that like it was that difference that I need, which is why I needed like 2 months to think about. I wasn't like thinking about it continuously. I was thinking about it on and off, on and off. Elizabeth is one helpless character. She always needs someone to be saving her. She's like, she's. It's like almost every arc she needs to be saved, and I hate that. I hate it when a character like always needs to be saved, like a damsel in distress. And like originally, I was gonna be making this video about like damsel distresses, but yeah, a damsel in distress is pretty much a helpless female character. Like it's a shame, but that's what they are. There's female characters that can't help themselves, so they need others to help them. And like the thing is, don't get me wrong. Obviously, like I'm not saying like everyone should do stuff by themselves. Like yeah, like there are times where we need to help each other out. Like all humans, camaraderie and all that stuff, teamwork and all. Like you can't. Not one person can't do what a whole entire army, a unified army, can do. So I'm not saying that like it's bad that they're getting helped. What I'm saying is that it's annoying and it pisses me and a lot of people after they get consistently helped over and over and over again. And even though people don't like Sakura, I was actually kind of meh with her. Like I understand why people don't like her. I'm just me personally, I don't really mind her Sakura. One thing about Sakura that I actually did like is that in part two, she wasn't that helpless. Like at least she wasn't as helpless as she was in part one. Like she was definitely useless, but she didn't always need. It wasn't there wasn't always a scenario where she needed saving all the time, and that's the problem with Elizabeth. She needs saving all the time, and like, well, yeah, almost all the time. Because luckily, I was watching the anime, and there's the scene that I actually completely forgot about what Elizabeth done, which actually at the time, now I remember, gave me more respect for the character. Was the fact like when sort of spoiler alert if you don't want to know, when both Meliodas and Diane were caught inside this weird genjutsu type shit, um, and there was no one else to save them. Elizabeth was the one, while she's getting beaten down by the other knight, she was the one who took priority, took charge, and got the item that was causing that genjutsu thing. And I know I'm using genjutsu, and this is not Naruto, but I feel like using genjutsu. So go hate on it in the comments. She took charge, took the item that was causing the genjutsu, and she broke it to snap them out. And that wasn't even like, I think that was afterwards. But the thing that I really liked the most was when like when everyone else was in the corner of the genjutsu, and she saw this kid, this helpless kid, getting attacked by this swarm of insects that's constantly shredding that kid. She walked in there, even though her body was getting torn apart. She walked in there to try and save that kid, and that was impressive. She didn't call Meliodas, Lord Meliodas, please save me like she always does. She went in there and tried to save that kid herself, and that I actually liked that part. Yeah, that part made me go to like Elizabeth a bit more. Problem is, that's the only time in the series that she's ever done something like that. Like the best we've got was like when when characters say like, okay, you need me, so if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna kill myself. But like, you're not gonna kill yourself, and even if you were going to kill yourself, you like the fact is you didn't kill yourself. So that kind of seemed like a hollow ass threat to me. And plus, like, if the enemy was that stronger and faster than you, they could have probably easily found a way to incapacitate you without you killing yourself. So I'm just saying that. But like, I just really, and the point is that I think like that's what TheJorishae was trying to say. What he hates is not necessarily useless characters. Like useless characters are actually I don't even find them that annoying because they're mostly just irrelevant. I typically forget about them. Like for example, Sai. Like after a while, Sai pretty much lost his status as a main character and he became useless. So I completely forgot about him. The only problem is with Sakura is that you always see Sakura, so you're always reminded about how useless she is. Um, so yeah, like you may hate useless characters, but the reason why you would hate with Elizabeth is not because she's useless, it's because she is helpless. And I hate it when mangakas, authors, or whatever feel like they always need to write a character to be helpless, or always, or like have the damsel distress be an integral part of the character. Like we have really good characters, female characters, but they don't have to be female, but female characters that are not that, like they may have been helped once or twice, but they are not defined to be a damsel in distress or a helpless character. Like for example, we got characters like Rukia from Bleach, and even though I kind of dropped Bleach, but at the Soul Society time, Rukia, even though she was captured, and like the Soul Society was pretty much kind of like a rescue arc. It did not. Rukia did not feel like a dance, like, well, she was a dance in distress in that arc, but she didn't feel like a helpless character, because it's not like she always needed to be saved, or like it didn't feel like she was just helpless, just crying, "Oh, someone save me, please, someone save me, please, someone save me." It's not like she was doing that all the time. Unlike in the arc after that, Orihime. All Orihime kept on doing was going, "Kurosaki-kun, Kurosaki-kun, Kurosaki-kun, please save me, Kurosaki-kun, Kurosaki-kun, Kurosaki." And that's all he. And the worst thing is, it's like Orihime fits into the same boat as Elizabeth. In fact, well, probably worse, because I don't remember seeing Orihime do a at like Elizabeth did with the whole swarming insects thing. But like Orihime is like Elizabeth. She's not useless. In fact, she has god tier power. She has the ability to reject God's will. That's technically god tier power, or beyond god tier power. So she's not useless. In fact, she's pretty much a cheat code. Like she's a cheat code. She can pretty much revive anyone she wants. She's not useless. She's just helpless. And it's so bloody annoying with Orihime. But like getting back on task, like Rukia, definitely not a helpless character. Katara, like from Avatar the Last Airbender. And this is a really great character because Katara, when I first saw her, I thought she was going to be on that same boat as either useless or helpless or both. So I feel so bad for that prejudice because I was so happy to be wrong about Katara. She's one of my favorite characters because she is so far from being helpless. Like there may be times when she like needed to be helped and needed to be saved and all that, but no, it's not like it's dramatically anywhere any more than the times that Aang needed to be saved, or Sokka needed to be saved, or Toph needed to be saved, or Zuko needed to be saved. Like she felt like an equal to all of them, and she was a girl. I mean, like yeah, Toph was the tomboyish girl, and yeah, I still love Toph. Toph is awesome, but I'm just happy that like Katara was a strong female character that didn't need to be saved all the time, and she didn't have to be a boy to do it. She didn't have to be a tomboy to do it. Like I'm not bagging on any female characters who are tomboys. I'm just saying like it's just great that you don't need to have a female character doesn't need to be a tomboy in order to be a strong character, and I think Katara is great for that. What other characters? Anna's one of those characters that she can't even. Anna doesn't even fight. Not that she can't fight, because obviously later on, I'm not going to spoil that, but Anna's one of those characters who's not primarily a fighter, but she is far from being useless and helpless. Like, Anna was Yo's right hand woman when it came to training. She was the one who balanced his his laxness, like his slothness, his even though he was a relaxed dude, she helped balance him out by getting him to put in that work. She was a very supportive woman. Like She was very supportive. She always she handmade his battle outfit. She also again made training programs. She obviously cared about the dude. Like, well, I wouldn't say obviously, but and she had total faith in him. So she wasn't fighting. So she, but she and like, but at the same time though, Anna rarely needed to be saved either. Like on top of my head, I can only think of one time, like when she needed to be helped out or saved. Actually, no, two times if you count the flashback. But yeah, so so, and she's not even a fighter. She's definitely a strong-willed. In fact, she's one of the most strong-willed characters in that series, and she's a female, and she's not a fighter. Wow. And another one I can think of who's not really in a anime or but manga or anything, but in media in general is like Aqua from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Excuse me. Now I only played that game recently, but like I was so glad when playing Birth by Sleep because like the first time I heard about Birth by Sleep and I heard there was gonna be three protagonists and I heard there's gonna be a female, I was like the same with Katara. Like not that I have anything against female characters, it's just that like we've seen how shitty they've been done. So I was thinking, oh my days, is she gonna be the one who always needs to be saved? But thank goodness, no. In fact, like if anything, Aqua's the one who helps out the other two more than the other two help her out. She's the one saving people. So and she's not a tomboy. She's just Aqua. She and that's what I like about her. Like I haven't played. I mean, I finished the kind of finished the story. And I need to redo everything in proud mode so I can get the secret ending because no one told me about that. But like, I haven't. I can't really remember much of my time with her, but I remember liking her. I remember that she didn't annoy me, and I liked her character. So Aqua's another one. And as a bonus, I'm gonna throw in a character that's not even a girl that needed to be helped, and that is um Dao Len, or is it Tao Ren? Depending on how, yeah, it's either Dao Len or Tao Ren, depending on how you want to pronounce his name. He's another character from Shaman King. And like you may be thinking, what? Why are you mentioning him? He's definitely not useless, and he's definitely not helpless. And you're right, he's definitely not useless and helpless. But he had his own rescue arc. There was an arc where he needed to be rescued. But the thing is, even though he does an arc that he needed to be rescued in, no one looks at Dao Ren or Dao Len. Sorry, I'm going to pronounce it the Chinese way. I think it, yeah, Chinese Tao is D and R is L. So Dao Len. Like, no one ever. The first thing you ever think of with Dao Len is not weak, is not helpless. He is so far beyond that. But even he needed to be helped. Anyone can be helped. Being helped is not a crime. But when a character gets like when being helped is a defining character trait for that character itself, that's when it gets annoying, and that's when no one wants to see it. So I hope this clears up what TheJorishae meant in his video. Like, at least I'm pretty like I can't speak for TheJorishae himself, but I'm pretty sure like that's what he meant when he was talking about about fuck Elizabeth, because God knows she always needs to be saved, and that's like again that is one of the problems of Nanatsu no Taizai. Even though like the Nanatsu no Taizai has a load of good stuff as well, like my girl Diane. Like, oh yeah, Diane's another example. And the funny thing is Diane's from the same series. Like, she's a female character and she doesn't need to be saved. Obviously she's not useless because she's part of well, yeah, well, I can't say obviously because we got Sakura, but she's not useless. She's part of the main cast, and she doesn't need to be helped a lot. She doesn't need. She's not helpless. She might need to be saved, but she's not helpless, and she's part of the same story. So I know the mangaka can do better than with Elizabeth, because he's shown that Elizabeth can have her moments. She just needs to have more moments like that instead of more moments of being like, Lord Meliodas, Lord Meliodas. But anyway, that's been the Primary Hunter. We're at 20 minutes, but it's better than being at 30. Peace, and I'll see you guys later. Love and peace. I'm still thinking of my own outro, but bye.